What if it's not filled with water?
It might melt.
You think so?
Yeah. I mean, the
So
reason why things like if I held a lighter to this water bottle right now, the plastic wouldn't melt because there's water inside. Boom, debunked. Next. Next.
Yeah. Good.
Next.
Good one, Lucas.
Framed in steel and surface.
Yep.
All right. Welcome to Intellectual Dummies. We have our conspiracy theory episode for you today, and we're doing 9/11 Part 2. If you haven't checked out our Part 1 video, check that out first, because we're going to be reviewing the same documentary, right, Paul?
Yes, we're not done with the documentary.
Yeah, so we're going through a documentary right now, so check out Part 1 if you haven't. And if you haven't already, like, comment, and subscribe. Let's get those numbers up. I'm your co-host, Lucas. I should have said that earlier. And this is my co-host, Paul.
What up?
And let us know what you think. 9/11. Who did it? Who done it?
Just a reminder, episode 1, we kind of... It showed us how, like, that only video footage that was shown of the plane hitting the Pentagon was an awful video, right?
Yeah.
It showed nothing.
Couldn't see anything.
Yeah. It showed... What else? What else did it show? How some of the way the structures fell perfectly into their own footprints.
Yeah, some weird dialogue inside of... I think it was the Air Force or something with Dick Cheney and
when
the orders still stand or something.
And he whipped his head around and said, "Of course, the orders still stand."
Yeah,
and this episode, I'm going to start it with something from the last episode that is just blatant fucking. You and I, like I said before, we have so many conversations on like the personality and the brain and how people think. And we both know guilt when we see it. And we're going to start with a little guilt.
Oh, shit.
I know you said there'll be a time for politics, but you've also said you wanted to change the tone of Washington. Howard Dean recently seemed to muse aloud whether you had advanced knowledge of 9/11. Do you agree or disagree with the RNC that this kind of rhetoric borders on political hate speech?
Yeah. There's time for politics. And, it's time for politics. And it's an absurd insinuation.
In that case, sir, can I follow up on something unrelated?
See, as I brought up in the last episode, you can tell that something's bothering him about what he asked.
Mm-hmm.
You know how when someone says something that kind of gets you I don't want to say the only word is kind of discombobulated in the head where you can't really think straight. And if you look before he says anything, he just kind of he can't help but shake his head. That wasn't that was an involuntary shake of the head. Sometimes you can't control your body language.
Yeah, we'll watch it again.
Is allowed whether you had advanced knowledge of 9/11. Do you agree or disagree with the RNC that this kind of rhetoric borders on political hate speech?
Yeah.
The blinking, did you see that right away?
Blinking a lot too is nervousness.
Whether you had advanced knowledge of 9/11. Do you agree or disagree with the RNC that this kind of rhetoric borders on political hate speech?
Yeah. There's time for politics.
He's shaking his head. He shook his head.
And, it's time for politics.
That's like a sadness. That's like a sadness. I don't want to talk about it.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think George Bush is responsible, but I think he knows about some shit that happened that was so horrible that he can't fucking. It's just something that's weighing on him. It seems like something's weighing on him. That's my interpretation of it.
I feel maybe too that, maybe this press conference, he was just expecting a bunch of softball questions.
Yeah.
And that just really threw him off. Like, oh, fuck, this dude's asking if I had prior knowledge to 9/11.
Dude, and I just remember one time, so like back in the day, like when I was younger, I used to sell pot. And I was at my friend's house. This was probably like last year. And we were talking about like smoking pot and stuff like that. And then just like out of nowhere, my friend's mom just goes, "Oh yeah, Luke, didn't you used to grow and sell pot?" Now I never grew it, but I mean, I used to sell it when I was younger. And the fact that she was just such a sweet old like Italian lady, so nice, and she just like the way she just fucking dropped that on me, I got discombobulated, just like how he's getting discombobulated right now. Couldn't really like think straight. I'm just kind of like picking up shit off the table and like, oh, look at this fucking paperclip. Yeah, I was mind fucked. And I told my friend after, I go, dude, your mom just like, I've never been mind fucked like that. She's just like, well, didn't you used to sell pot, Lucas? I'm like, first off, how do you know that? I mean, I know that you knew that, but it's just weird that you just fucking drop that on my
were not
phone.
expecting that type of a question.
Yeah, in the middle of dinner too. I was like mid-chew. I'm like, what?
You dramatically drop your fork, like what?
Yeah, exactly. I just spit my drink up a little bit, But that's what he's doing. That's what George Bush is doing right now.
100%.
Except he doesn't have any food in his mouth.
Yeah.
That's exactly what he's doing right now. That's why I brought that story up.
And he's in front of the whole press.
Yeah.
It's an absurd insinuation.
In that case, sir, can I follow up on something unrelated?
Thousands of people dead. I'll bring something else up.
No big deal. We're just going to war.
Yeah.
So the official story says that World Trade Center 7 collapsed as a result of fire. Yet the building's collapse had all the hallmarks of a controlled demolition. The leaseholder of the building even admitted that he gave the order to pull the building down.
Larry Silverstein.
Yo, look at this face. He already looks guilty.
New leaseholder of the World Trade Center regretfully declared that a decision was made to pull Building 7 by the end of the day, the last structure added to the World Trade Center complex. Let's hear Mr. Silverstein's actual words, delivered for our benefit in the 2002 PBS documentary America Rebuilds.
I remember getting a call from the fire department commander telling me that they were not sure they were going to be able to contain the fire. And I said, we've had such terrible loss of life. Maybe the smartest thing to do is pull it. And they made that decision to pull. And then we watched the building collapse.
Hold on, my dog's barking about something. What's up, bro? Oh, chill, bro. You hear something outside.
Blast, shoot, blow, and pull are terms used in the demolition industry to refer to bringing down buildings, bridges, and other structures.
Because I actually blew the hospital down that I was born in.
Originally, we had figured to shoot it, let it drop straight down.
Then, watch Demolition Dynamics attempt a big blast.
And from Ground Zero's own post-disaster wrecking crew.
By mid-December, the Department of Design and Construction had leveled World Trade Center buildings 4 and 5.
Hello? Oh, we're getting ready to pull building 6.
Silverstein, a commercial real estate tycoon with international political connections, acquired a 99-year lease on the World Trade Center complex in the spring of 2001. Throughout the summer, he reworked the insurance policies on his new property, making sure that it was covered for acts of terrorism. Explicit in the lease agreement was Silverstein's right to rebuild the complex if it were destroyed. After 9/11, Mr. Silverstein fought his insurers in court to obtain double his policy limits for the destruction of his property, maintaining that the double hijacking constituted 2 disasters caused by terrorists, not just one. He won and was awarded over $7 billion, a magnificent return on his original $15 million investment.
Yeah, that's pretty wild, right?
That's a fucking... Wait, he only bought the World Trade Centers for $15 million? I don't fucking believe that for a second.
Why?
$15 million?
I'm sorry. Am I supposed to say something after you repeated $15 million?
Yeah, that's an insanely low number. That's my fucking point.
Well, this was in 2001?
2001, but $15 million?
Well, let's keep watching.
This is already bullshit.
Just in the last few seconds, another building number 7, one of the buildings in support of the World Trade Center towers, has collapsed.
World Trade 7, functioning as the command center for the complex, housed giant diesel backup and oxygen systems, the mayor's protected emergency bunker, and offices for the CIA, Secret Service, Department of Defense, and Securities and Exchange Commission. Its other tenants were insurance companies, brokerages, and banks. No plane hit Building 7, but at 5:20 p.m. on September 11th, it collapsed in a heap on the ground. Some damage to Building 7 is said to have been caused by debris from Tower 1. Though this New York Times article tells us Building 7 burned like a giant torch, the only visuals that exist are of unidentified smoke and a few small fires. Compare this to the wallops sustained by World Trade Center 3, 4, 5, and 6. Positioned right below the towers, damage to the surrounding World Trade Center buildings was infinitely worse. Still, the structures held up.
Did they?
But somehow rescued.
Did they?
Well, I mean, yeah, but compared to World Trade Center 7, they most certainly did. World Trade Center 7 just all collapsed, and I mean, we'll see the explosions later on.
For one, those buildings are way fucking smaller.
Workers knew that Building 7
destroyed
would fall.
The structures are still standing.
Keep your eye on that building. It'll be coming down soon.
A 47-story skyscraper, Building 7 folded neatly in 6.5 seconds, a textbook descent right into its footprint. Silverstein Properties now tells us that its owner was referring to the team of firefighters inside the building when he spoke of the decision to pulling the firemen out of harm's way. However, there were no firefighters in Building 7, according to FEMA, NIST, and Fire Chief Frank Fellini. They were ordered out at 11:30 that morning. 6 hours later, the building came down.
We heard this sound that sounded like a clap of thunder. Turned around, it looked like there was a shockwave ripping through the building, and the windows all busted out. And it was horrifying. About a second later, the bottom floor caves out, and the building followed after that.
Radio host Alex Jones notes the mark of a classic implosion.
This is a photo taken 1 second into Building 7's collapse. Notice the crimp. If we look at other controlled demolitions, we see that they first blow one of the central columns so the building falls in on itself. If you don't do this, the building falls outward and can damage surrounding structures. Building 7 had a classic crimp or wedge. Its central column was blown out first, so it didn't structurally damage buildings just a few feet away from it.
Remember the mayor's emergency bunker? Ensconced on the 23rd floor of Building 7, It was retrofitted with superglass, water, oxygen, and its own generator. But Mayor Giuliani chose to find emergency shelter elsewhere on September 11th. Why Building 7? Even the media and its experts were confused. The History Channel interviews structural engineer Ramon Gilsans, who points out the obvious crimp and even speaks of the implosion.
Engineers are not just focusing on the Twin Towers. The most disturbing structural event was not that the Twin Towers fell, but that Tower 7, ignited by flying debris, fell due to fire alone.
Building 7 was a steel frame building and is the first steel frame building that has collapsed due to fire. The failure of the building was an implosion. So it failed completely different than Towers 1 and 2, in which the floors failed first.
Why Building 7? Let's ask the question again. As the WTC Command Center, was it the hub for the 9/11 plan?
Okay, pause it. We got a lot to talk about.
Go for it.
We got a lot to talk about right now. I mean, for one, those other buildings, like, oh, they're still structurally sound. Look at the pictures of them. They're all demolished.
Yeah, but you
They're
see
all
how
demolished.
you
That's
do see
bullshit.
how you do see how Building 7 just collapses down.
Yeah, but it's not like there was nothing wrong with Building 7 and then it just all of a sudden collapsed. I mean, there was fires that they said that they couldn't control, and then they just let them burn the building out. And I mean, I will say the fact that when they're talking about the crimp and stuff, okay, let's call that's a little sketchy. And I'll go as far into say is maybe because that building was so burnt out, because notice how they don't show you any pictures of the other side of the building where all the fires are. Maybe that building was so burnt out that they were like, listen, we should fucking kind of demolish it. Even though it's probably illegal for us to do this and we have to kind of cover it up. Maybe we just got to take down this fucking building.
Yeah, but burnt out from what?
From debris.
Okay, but still, like it's one thing with like the towers. They have the argument of like jet fuel getting so hot, but Building 7 was just a regular fire. We're talking about like office papers and fucking.
Yeah, but there's zero pictures of the other side of the building.
Okay.
They pulled all the firefighters from the building at 11 o'clock, and it was burning uncontrollably for the next 6 hours.
There's nothing that showed it burning uncontrollably.
They said it. They said it in the documentary.
No, they said that's what the report said.
Yeah, so that's what the report said. So why? Yeah. I mean, it's not like this was an intact building that just
there's yet to be one instance of showing any fires here.
Also, in 6.5 seconds,
and that did have the middle fall out first.
Yeah, it did. Like I said, I think that it was so burnt out and damaged that it probably could have been fixed, but all things considered, like, let's just take this fucking building down. And they kind of had to cover it up because they probably weren't supposed to. I'll go as far and say that. But Larry Silverstein, let's talk about that real quick.
Mm-hmm.
The insurance policy, I don't see anything sketchy about the terrorism clause because they had already been attacked 10 years earlier.
Yeah, of course, when you have I would assume when you have a monument like that, you have like some type of like insurance over
exactly for terrorism, especially a hot spot for terrorism. I mean, they've had attacks there before, so of course you're going to get that. Now, this documentary points out the fact that it was a $15 million investment. How he got $7 billion. Oh, what a good investment! That was so disingenuous for them to say that. Like $15 million. He bought it for $15 million. Like, that's such bullshit. The deal was valued at $13.2 billion. That's how much it cost. He paid $14 million of his own money up front, because that's what you do when you buy property. You put a down payment down. His was $14 million of his own money. The rest of it came through financiers and investors and loans and shit like that. So you think about it, he paid $13.2 billion for the property. It got attacked twice, with all those other buildings that were also on the property got demolished. and he got paid $7 billion. That's starting to sound a little reasonable.
I think it is pretty sketch that he fought in court claiming it to be two different attacks.
Well, it was. I mean, about
it was two planes, but it's like it's not like one fucking side with one plane was run by the Sunnis and the other one was run by the fucking Shiites.
Yeah, but that doesn't. I mean, okay. So if it got hit by one plane.
No, that comes off as just more of a sketchy Jew thing, I guess. That's like something that a Jewish person would do, or like a Guinea. They would be like, "No, two different planes, two different accounts. I get more money.
Terrorists. Yeah.
I get more money.
Money, please."
Yes, cha-ching.
Yeah. So far, this is all bullshit to me.
Yeah, that's fine. We could keep watching. I fucking do not think this is bullshit.
Was it the hub for the 9/11 plan? Also, in 6.5 seconds, lost forever were thousands of SEC case files on corporate fraud, including those relating to the notorious activities of giants WorldCom and Enron. A few indictments for stock fraud, but what of the $70 billion California electricity swindle? It disappeared.
That was a crazy thing, the Enron thing.
Just a nice coincidence, right?
Yeah. Hey, I wouldn't doubt it if fucking.
Because this is also back in 2000. This is also back in 2002. Like there was no iCloud.
Yeah, it was 2001.
Well, sorry, 2001. But like, still, there's no iCloud. Like this, like we're still using filing cabinets. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, no, I know. Yeah, I mean, computers are just starting to come onto the fucking scene.
Yeah,
you know, computers still aren't really what they are now, of course.
At all, yeah.
25 years later, obviously.
Yeah.
But hey, I mean, I wouldn't doubt it if these attacks happened and all of a sudden, all these big wigs like the Enron guy and all those guys started making phone calls like, "Hey, I know that building's on fire. Who do we get a bribe to let that motherfucker burn?
Mm-hmm.
Who do we get a bribe to bring that building down?" I wouldn't doubt that. I wouldn't put it past them to do that. The government's done worse shit than that,
Or maybe when they planned this false flag event, they were expecting Building 7 to take more damage, and they're like, we have to bring this building down.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like maybe they thought it was going to take the walloping that the other towers took.
Yeah.
And Building 7 was barely touched, and they're like, oh shit, that's where all the files are. Like, we got to get that thing down.
To me, I think Building 7 was more comparable to like when you get into a car accident that's pretty bad. Your car is like right on the line of being totaled. And when you go to the fucking mechanic, you're like, come on, can you fucking just total the fucking vehicle, please?
Yeah. That's a good way to look at it.
That's what they did. I think that's what they did.
Maybe.
It's amazing. Amazing, incredible, pick your word. For the third time today, it's reminiscent of those pictures we've all seen too much on television before when a building was deliberately destroyed by well-placed dynamite to knock it down.
Wat je ziet bij het World Trade Center. Dit zijn beelden van gebouw nummer 7.
Ja.
Danny Jawenko is a controlled demolition expert. Like most people, he was not aware of a third building collapse on September 11th. And that is true too. Like not a lot of people are aware of Building 7.
Yeah, maybe at the time, maybe they weren't. But I don't even know if that's true.
Well, now people are because so much has come out. But at that time,
I think
nobody.
I think people knew about it.
I think people knew about it.
Yeah, it's a fucking giant building in the middle of the biggest city in the entire world. I think people know about it.
I think everyone knew.
Ze hebben gewoon kolommen weggeblazen. Het is nagesprongen. Dus dit is controlled demolition.
Zeker weten.
Zeker weten. Er is nagesprongen. Dit is in opdracht gebeurd. Dit heeft een team gedaan van experts.
I'd be like, what gypsy language are you talking right now, sir?
Maar het is ook op 11 september gebeurd.
Dezelfde dag?
Dezelfde dag.
Dezelfde dag? Weet je dat zeker?
Ja. Dezelfde dag?
Nee.
Was het zeker weten de 11e? Totaal geen waar zijn.
7 uur nadat de World Trade Center naar beneden viel.
Ja? Hebben ze hard gewerkt.
I mean, for whatever reason, you could say that's fine, but that was totally a controlled demolition. Building 7.
Like I said, I think so. I think they went in there like, we got to bring this building down. I mean, it's in everybody's best interest to let this building burn out so that we have an excuse to bring it down and then blame it on the fire.
See, so you're not sitting here going everything's bullshit.
But most of this is bullshit.
Like what we'll say, for example,
the structure of these buildings were fine. They're just burnt out fucking hellholes.
Structures were still standing though. They didn't fucking collapse into dust into their own footprint.
They're like showing like fucking 4 windows. Like, look at these windows. Are still
but yo, those were the buildings that were directly under the 2 towers, and their structures still stood
entirely.
Structures still stood, and then on building 7, it fell perfectly into a pile of dust.
Definition of stood, like if my house fucking burnt down and the walls were still up, it's like the house still stood. It's like my house it's gone.
But the towers in building 7 all just got pulverized into dust. There was no structure standing at all anywhere.
Yeah, I mean,
pulverized into a pile of dust.
Way perfectly, big too.
Perfectly into its own basement. But anyhow. Yeah, right, Lucas. Yeah, right. Uncontrolled jet fuel fires cannot liquidize steel.
How and when does steel melt?
Oh, look,
steel melts at
still standing.
It's showing a graph, dummy.
It's still standing. Look at the background.
That's not the fucking bro.
It is.
It's so funny.
Temperatures of 2,750 degrees Fahrenheit and above attained only in a blast furnace.
How do you know that was the World Trade Center?
Or when a powerful incendiary such as thermite is used. Steel or any
You're like, look, that structure's still standing.
substance that is burned will never become hotter than the temperature of the fire or heat applied to it. An open-air hydrocarbon fire reaches a maximal temperature of some 1,200 degrees Fahrenheit in a dirty or uncontrolled burn, characterized by red-orange flames. Red-orange flames are what we saw on September 11th. Even the fireball caused by the plane strike was red-orange. A controlled burn falls between a dirty burn like a fireplace and a controlled environment, the blast furnace. A controlled burn employs a regulated mix of air and fuel, an example being your gas stove or the engine in your car. You can fire up your gas stove all day long, making soup, roasting a duck, or simmering a stew. Made of steel, your stove will not melt, and nor will your pots and pans. This is a kerosene heater designed for use in any ordinary house. The heater runs on jet-grade kerosene contained in this tank. Made of steel, the heater can operate all night and all day. The kerosene fumes ignite and burn inside it, never causing even the smallest part of this heater to weaken or melt. Yet we were led to believe that these tremendous buildings...
What do you mean?
That's such a bullshit analogy.
Like, what do you mean?
We're talking about a heater in a house that maybe might push out fucking 80, 90 degrees.
All right, well, what about like a stove?
A stove, that little fucking tiny flame that's boiling a pot of water.
Yeah, but if you leave it on all day, that pot's not going to melt.
Yeah, well, it's filled with water.
What if it's not filled with water?
It might melt.
You think so?
Yeah. I mean, the reason why things like, if I held a lighter to this water bottle right now, the plastic wouldn't melt because there's water inside. Boom, debunked. Next.
Yeah. Good.
Next.
Good one, Lucas.
Framed in steel and surfaced in aluminum, totally collapsed from small scattered fires and 90 minutes of smoke. Take note of these hurtling beams, thrown laterally outward as the tower comes to Earth. Would fire have the
Those aren't hurtling beams?
That's just all debris and shit.
strength to
That right there is
that's not hurtling beams, that's debris.
This is
eject such
disingenuous
huge
right here.
chunks of metal? Thermite.
They
An
just
incendiary
compared posit. They just said that the explosion caused chunks of beams to expel out, and then they showed you a picture of the buildings collapsing. Disingenuous. Suck it out.
Hold on.
Totally collapsed from small scattered fires and 90 minutes of smoke. Take note of these hurtling beams.
They're hurtling beams right there. What's the problem?
That is...
She said right here, take note of these
Steel and
hurtling
surfaced
beams.
in aluminum, totally collapsed from small scattered fires and 90 minutes of smoke. Take note of these.
So take note of these hurtling beams right here.
That's just, I mean, those just could just be pieces of wood hurtling beams. Like, you can't objectively say that those are all hurtling beams. It's just debris that's being fucking expelled out because the tower is collapsing.
Hurtling, you just don't like hurtling beams for some reason. That really triggered you.
No, it's just, it doesn't make any fucking sense.
Okay.
Hurtling beams, thrown laterally outward as the
hold on.
tower comes collapsed.
I want you to hear her say hurtling beams one more
90
time.
minutes of smoke. Take note of these hurtling beams, thrown laterally outward as the tower comes to Earth. Would fire have the strength to eject?
Yeah, she said thrown laterally outward. So I mean, what's the
Of course
problem?
they would. So
Such
why would we
huge
take note of
chunks of
that?
metal? Thermite. An incendiary used by the military, thermite is a compound of iron oxide and aluminum, which when ignited sustains an extreme heat reaction, creating molten iron. In just 2 seconds, thermite can reach temperatures over 4,500 degrees Fahrenheit, quite enough to liquefy steel. This is thermite melting the engine of a car. We know that open-air fires cannot burn hot enough to melt steel, but metal had melted at the base of the towers. The second product of a thermite reaction is aluminum oxide, visible as white smoke.
All fucking smoke.
Was
is
thermite
white.
used in conjunction?
What did you say?
All fucking smoke is white.
Really? There's no black smoke or gray smoke?
It's white smoke.
Did you ever see when what color smoke is it when they burn tires?
That's black smoke.
It's
but
black
we're not
smoke.
burning tires.
So not all smoke is white, Lucas.
Yeah, but
With explosives on
smoke is
September
white.
11th.
You just went all motherfucking smoke is white.
Yeah.
Not all smoke is white.
It's
There's
all
black
white.
smoke.
No,
There's
this is
gray
white
smoke.
Dude, I'll fucking go make some white
There's-
smoke right fucking now.
There's gray
I'll go light
smoke.
up a fucking cigar and we'll
There's
see some white fucking smoke.
Different color smokes, Lucas. It's okay. Okay, buddy.
Watch this very bright substance pouring from the
There's only white smoke.
81st
There's
floor of
plenty
the
of white
South
smoke
Tower.
in this world.
I know there's plenty of white smoke in the world. If your car is having engine problems, it
Yeah,
gives out
or
white
just
smoke in
shit's
the
on
exhaust.
fire. If shit's on fire, then the smoke is white. Like it's
Not
thermite.
always.
No, it's
Not always.
fuck you.
Sometimes it can be black or gray.
Yeah, but in this case, it's not. It's white.
Yeah, so what? It gives off a white smoke.
And white smoke appeared at the base of the building. Would this be aluminum oxide, the byproduct of a thermite reaction?
This is a bullshit picture.
Well, I mean, dude, this thing was made in the early 2000s.
Like, look at this white smoke between these buildings as we
It's
take
like-
this picture across the harbor.
It's like the best fucking evidence they had back then.
Appendix C of the FEMA report describes sulfur residues on the World Trade Center steel. The New York Times called this the deepest mystery of all. Sulfur slightly lowers the melting point of iron, and iron oxide and iron sulfide had formed on the surface of the structural steel. Sulfur used with thermite is called thermate, producing even faster results.
And whiter smoke.
Let's look at what happens in the demolition industry.
Yeah, there's a lot of gray smoke
Taking
there, but
down
that's
large
not,
structures
that's
requires
so weird.
preparation. Powerful explosives and heavy equipment are used in advance to weaken the foundation and bottom sections of a building before additional explosives and gravity bring the rest of it down. The words of a senior blaster.
We blow the basement, all the columns in the basement. Then we crack it up at the top to get it started. We go every other floor all the way down. Every explosive has a timer on it. That's why it's controlled. When the columns go, each floor goes down and impacts the one below and keeps going.
Here's what demolition experts use in steel-framed buildings. The linear shaped charge.
It's a chevron-shaped or V-shaped charge that you can focus at a specific target, and it's lethal. It generates around 3 million pounds per square inch pressure at a speed, depending on the explosive inside the shaped charge, in excess of 27,000 feet per second.
Imagine having that job where you're getting paid like so much money just to blow up buildings.
That would be a sweet job. I would love that job, I'm not going to lie.
Like if you were just like, yeah, I'm learning, like just the way that guy explained like the shape charge, he probably has the best job on earth.
I know. I want to be the guy that presses the button.
Besides the unfathomably powerful shape charge, blasters have a lot of tricks.
There are over 1,000 different types of explosive. Different because they detonate at varying speeds.
With the use of delays, we can control pretty much where the debris lands. We can control vibration. We can control noise levels. Timing and delays are the key to just about everything in our business.
And what is the result?
The thing that pleases me is the fragmentation and the control. I wanted to take a building and break it up into millions of pieces and put it in this basement as artfully as we do it. And it works just like clockwork. So we've got it all down to a science. It gives me goosebumps to talk about it.
These core columns were discovered after the collapse. The angled cut occurs in exactly the manner that shaped charges slice through steel beams to control the way they fall. Notice the hardened once liquid metal. Was thermite used with the shaped charge?
The job of the shaped charge is to cut steel H-beams.
The way we do this is by cutting the beam at an angle, which through a series of beams cut at the same angle will tend to make the building shift over and walk.
Let's look at the rubble of two 110-story buildings brought to the ground. In a 7-story crater lie nearly 2 million tons of debris. Had the basements not been blown out, where would 2 million tons have gone? Heaped on the ground, ready to slide and spill? The art of controlled demolition.
I mean, you could say what you want, but that is a coincidence that all three of those buildings did fall perfectly into their own basements.
No, I don't think so.
You don't think that's just a coincidence?
No, I think that these buildings weren't built the way that the traditional. They were built different. They didn't have a core. The Twin Towers did not have a core.
That's the dumbest thing I've ever heard in my life.
True.
Yeah, they built it without the core. Yeah, that makes
They built them
sense.
different. The core was on the outside.
Oh yeah, no. That's right. I forgot when you were on your fishing trip. Your buddy who's in construction told you that.
Yeah. My buddy who was in construction told me that. Yes.
Okay. Well, let's keep watching.
Dragon-like lengths and contortions spoke for itself. Bent, deformed, without cracks.
I found it hard to believe that it actually bent because of the size of it and how there's no cracks in the iron. It bent without almost a single crack in it. It takes thousands of degrees to bend steel like this.
Typically, you'd have buckling and tearing on the tension side, but there's no buckling at all. There's no buckling at all.
Here is the meteorite, molten iron fused with concrete.
And architects, engineers, people who work with steel, welders have just never seen the level of destruction and the level of deformation of this material in our lives.
It is true that heat expands steel. In a fire, steel members may swell and bend slightly. But how could these huge tangles have been created? The steel below the towers had melted at many thousands of degrees. Since metal conducts heat, were these twisted remains formed by high temperatures wicking their way through a gridwork of steel? Explosives also deform steel. As they fire, gas pushes outward. The force of the gas can easily bend a large steel column. Two kinds of debris, huge shattered columns that could break a truck, combined with matter that was near pulverized.
You have 210-story office buildings. You don't find a desk. You don't find a chair. You don't find a telephone, a computer. The biggest piece of a telephone I found was half of the keypad, and it was about this big.
And you think that's just a coincidence too, Lucas?
Notice how they didn't really show any pictures of all these beams that were cut at these angles. They had that one picture that didn't even look like a beam. It looked like maybe an elevator shaft or something.
What, the one that was at the angle?
That wasn't a beam.
That wasn't a beam?
No, I don't think so. It didn't look like a beam.
Of course it doesn't look like a beam to
It
you.
didn't look like a beam.
Yeah, of course not.
So I just asked ChatGPT if the tower were built with the cores. Now it says the twin towers were built with central structure core. The core, it contained elevators, stairwells, and utility shafts. It did have columns in there. They were the backbone of the vertical strength. The towers also had a dense perimeter closely, but the most important part of this.
What do you on?
Well, this is all just like these forms were exterior walls, which helped carry loads, and like I don't want to say a bunch of nothing information. It allowed for large open office spaces without interior support and columns, and I'm skipping all that.
Okay.
But my point being, together, because they're talking about the perimeter columns act like a hollow tube. The core columns formed a secondary tube inside. Together, they made the buildings very strong, but also unusual compared to the traditional skyscraper.
Okay. Still very strong.
What I'm saying, they were built different than every other skyscraper.
Still very strong.
Still very strong, but I don't know how. What is that popping up there?
That must be on your end. I got nothing.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, I saw like your screen light up. Something lit up on your end.
Yeah, it did. Then it
Oh, what happened there?
Am I still here? Can you hear me?
Your screen froze, but I can hear you. It froze like perfectly on a weird face too. That's very funny.
It did. I can see it. I can see it's frozen. Hold on. There we go. All right. There we are.
That was very funny. You were like, oh.
What was I saying? Yeah. So they were built. They were built different than the traditional skyscraper. Therefore, they probably fell different.
Yeah, perfectly into their own basement.
Skyscraper. I mean, they didn't fall exactly in their footprint. I mean, we see all these other buildings that were fucking demolished around it.
Those are the buildings that were directly
Tower
underneath.
3, 4, 5, 6, and 7 got all smoked.
7 didn't get touched.
It got touched. It was touched.
Didn't get touched.
It was touched.
The other towers that were underneath definitely took a walloping, but 7 didn't get touched.
7 got touched.
Yeah, I think you're
7 was
fucking touched.
damaged. 7
I think you're
was
touched.
motherfucking damaged. Right here. Tower 7. What happened? It collapsed in the afternoon, several hours after the Twin Towers was hit by a plane. But debris from the collapse of the North Tower caused major fires inside of the building.
Yeah, but
Those
Lucas,
fires burned uncontrollably for 7 hours.
All Chappy GBT is doing is getting articles about Building 7. Like,
Because there were fires inside of it that were burning uncontrollably for 7 hours because they pulled the firefighters out.
What was making the fires burn uncontrollably for 7 hours? That would make the fucking building collapse perfectly into its own footprint.
The debris
A bunch
from
of
the
curtains, office, fucking supplies.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh,
all
yeah.
of that. The rugs, all of that.
The rugs. That makes the
The
flames hot
office,
enough.
all the
That
paper
makes the
in the
flames
office.
hot enough to melt the steel and have it all coming down.
Yeah.
Because that's what we see. That's what we see when normal buildings catch on fire. They just collapse. They collapse into their own footprint.
I'm not saying Building 7, maybe something sketchy happened there. I'll concede that. I think something maybe sketchy probably happened there.
That's what we were just talking about, and you no, chat.
But you said it wasn't touched. You said it wasn't touched, which is bullshit.
Wasn't touched. Yeah, it wasn't touched. Maybe maybe one of the what was it? Maybe one of the I wish I remember what that woman said about the beams. Maybe one of the deflecting beams hit it. The projecting beams.
Oh yeah,
right?
Yeah.
Maybe it was hit by
projecting beams. It's like, and I will say I did misspeak on that because I thought they were talking about when the planes hit.
Oh.
But they were talking about the buildings collapsing. So just to correct myself, of course debris is going to fly out. The building is collapsing.
Especially when it's blowing out from each floor.
Yeah, exactly. So of course fucking shit's gonna fly out there. Who gives a fuck?
But that's the point.
Why are we making note of that?
That's the point.
These beams flying out.
Because the point that they're making, stupid, is that when it's a controlled demolition, they're blowing the floors out from inside. So the debris gets pushed outward, Lou.
Yeah.
That's what you literally just said.
Anyways, you don't need an explosion.
You literally just said, dude. That's what's so funny is that you literally just said that.
You don't need an explosion to fly debris out. You have thousands of pounds coming down on fucking thousands of pounds. Shit's gonna fly everywhere.
It's gonna go like if that were really a plane at the top of a tower, right? And that weight was too much, and the flames were like too hot and started making things bend. It would be more like a crink, and then maybe something might like teeter over this way, but it wouldn't go. It wouldn't do that. It would be like crunk, like shit, what's happening here? Shrink, like you know what I'm saying? It wouldn't just be like boom. It wouldn't do that just from flames.
It wasn't flames. It was a fucking Boeing 747.
Yep, and they said the jet fuel is what got hot enough to weaken the steel for it to collapse at free fall speed.
On a building that was built
differently, but still strong.
Every building's strong.
Not Building 7. Building 7 had a couple curtains on fire, and it fucking fell perfectly into its own footprint. Building 7 had a couple of notepads and filing cabinets on fire.
7. If there's any conspiracy theory to be had, it's probably Building 7.
I mean, because especially if like that California Enron scandal, like paperwork and shit was all in there, like that's bullshit.
I mean, billionaires making phone calls. Hey, can we let that building just burn to the fucking ground, please? I'll give you $1 billion and you $1 billion, and this guy can go. I can see.
Or like
that.
somebody making a phone call, being like, "Hey, I thought you guys said Tower 7 was gonna get demolished too. It's still standing up in the news. I'm watching the news right now. Tower 7's still there." Like I thought you said, put all the files in there, dude.
All the paperwork.
Yeah. Yeah, but that's all we'll have for our podcast tonight, our conspiracy podcast.
Yeah,
and we still got a long way to go here on 9/11.
we do. That was a good one. I mean, everything that we saw in that documentary was bullshit, and I hope
Yeah.
you at home are smart enough
Yeah.
to realize that.
Notice how Luke will be like, everything is bullshit. Then he'll be like, well, I can see how things are like this. And then he'll go, that's all bullshit. Then he'll go, well, there is something there. Like,
No,
dude,
I mean,
is it
Tower
bullshit
7,
or
maybe.
is there
That's
something
what I'll
there?
leave you with. This Tower 7, maybe something sketchy happened there, maybe. The demolition style there with the crimping and stuff like that. Okay, yeah, you know what? They probably pulled that tower down because it had enough damage and they were already getting a big fucking payout and everything else. They might as well have just taken that fucking tower too. You're saying it's untouched, which is so
No,
unreasonable.
I'm saying it probably got hit by a couple of outbursting beams. I'll give it that.
Some bursting beams, yeah.
Whatever they were.
Bursting beams.
There was like a couple of scattered fires. Like I
Yeah.
said, a couple of fucking toiletries were on fire and curtains, and that tower's got to go down. I don't think so.
Oh, that's such a strong.
Because again, even like I said,
Strong argument.
Tower 1 and 2 have the argument of the jet fuel getting so hot that it fucked everything up and melted all the beams or whatever. But again, Tower 7 wasn't hit by a plane. It was just hit by debris. So those are just regular heat, like regular fires without the jet fuel.
Yeah, like I said, I mean, if there's a conspiracy to had, the fact that Tower 7 fell the way that it did seems like I think there's a little bit of a cover up going on there in some way, shape, or form, and that's the most I'm going.
I think because I think because you can't hold down that jalapeno pepper, you're like more short tempered, and you just don't want to believe. Because I can see it in you. I can see it in you.
There it is, right there.
Yeah, good luck to you. Eat it right now. We're at the end.
11:00.
Well, yeah, we're at the end. Who gives a fuck?
I'll fucking die.
Don't be a faggot. Don't be a faggot. You already took it. I mean, didn't you already eat half of it?
I did.
Oh, so then what's the problem with the other half?
Sucked. It sucked. Dude, the Scoville heat units on a fucking habanero.
It matches your shirt.
Yeah, it does. But the Scoville heat units on the habanero. Like,
why do you eat
jalapeno? Have you eaten a jalapeno before?
No.
Have you had Frank's Red Hot sauce before?
No. I don't do
Jesus
hot.
Fucking Christ.
No, I don't do hot and spice.
You're the whitest person in the entire world.
Like, I like to add pepper to things, like black pepper.
It's as hot as Paul gets right there.
It is. It really is. Heavy black pepper is the hottest I'll get.
You would be fucking dead if you ate this.
I wouldn't even want to smell that thing.
Yeah. It actually smells good. It's very citrusy. I like the flavor itself is very good.
Wipe it on your cheek.
No, that probably wouldn't even do anything.
I think it would. Just don't do it, actually. I think that would.
I almost fucking did.
Can you smell it? Like if it's like near your face, can you smell that scent?
Yeah, I mean, I can smell it. It doesn't like smell hot. Like I could smell this all day. Don't mind us as we end this 9/11 podcast.
I know, with him fucking. I'm just waiting for you to take a bite out of it, but whatever.
Fuck it.
Oh my god, this is great. Let's see what happens. Nice, we're gonna clip this one out. Look, you seem like you're fine. You got this. You got this, bro.
Takes a while to kick in.
Yeah, you got this. You got this, Luke. Stay with it. Try not to drink anything.
The fucking hiccups. I can feel them coming back.
Nice. This is great. Oh no. I can't believe you actually ate it.
Hiccups are back. Oh, that was a mistake.
Nice. At 11 o'clock at night, too. I love it.
Hiccups now.
Well, here, Luke, why don't you close us out?
Oh, if you made it this far, go fuck yourself. If you made it this far, like, comment, subscribe.
Man, I'm getting
You better
such
fucking subscribe after that.
getting such a kick out of this. Are you good?
No.
Oh, really?
Oh, what face? I'm fucking crying. Tearing up.
Oh no, you have to clip this part out. You're showing your titties.
Like, comment, subscribe. Tell us what you think. Who done it? Oh, my stomach just started to hurt. That's not good.
It just started to hurt. Aren't you supposed to drink milk?
I don't think I have any milk.
Oh well.
I'll be right back.
Cool, man. I hope he's okay. I mean, honestly, I mean, I know him as older brother, but I didn't think I was going to actually talk him into doing it.
So good. All right. That concludes.
All right, dude. I'll talk to you later.
I fucking hate you.
Later.
That sucks.